Hey, JW here, and going through my timeline on YouTube. Watched the Celtics game last night. I don't generally watch entire games anymore. I usually, during the regular season, almost 100% of the time, I will watch the game the following day on, I can summarize it in under 10 minutes with videos on YouTube. It's a pretty good way to do it. I mean, back in the day, I would have watched every second of every game. But, funny thing is, when you're younger, you're busier, you have jobs, you go to games, you have family life, you're doing a lot of things, and you have very little time. But for some reason, you can you can always squeeze in whatever you need to squeeze in. As you get older, the theory is that you're going to have more free time, but I find that's not the case with me. Now, part of the reason is as you get older, you get a little slower. You don't perform tasks as quickly as you once did. And sometimes the prep time just to get out the door is probably double what it was when you were young. So you lose a lot of time because of age related factors. But theory is that, you're retired. Of course, I'm not. I have a job, a community service job here in the town I live in. I'm a crossing guard. I say community service. They do pay me, but not too much, and that's fine. I knew the gig when I took it. I've been a crossing guard since 2007 in two different towns. The former town that I lived in, Linfield, which at some point in the next 2 or 3 years I should be back living in. Not that I don't like it in my current town, which is Amesbury. I do. It's a nice place up here. We have a nice home and beautiful area to live in. We're right on the New Hampshire border. So, there's lots of things to do up here. I like to hike. I like to walk every morning. I like to go to Plum Island, which is about a 20-minute drive from here. It's a beautiful, beautiful wildlife reservation, a national park, and just a beautiful place to walk and see all the see nature at its finest. I guess you see the bird sanctuaries and the seals on the beach. And, everything is dedicated to wildlife, as it should be. It's a wildlife reservation. I get a kick out of my fellow humans during the summer when they will shut down entire beaches because the plords, the birds that come to nest, can't be disturbed, or the seals can't be disturbed, they're birthing or whatever. And people get upset. And I remind them once in a while, in a nice way, that, this is what this is. It's not a beach. It's humans are allowed to use the beach when the wildlife is not using it. So take advantage of it when you can. And when wildlife is doing their thing, then they are protected to the max. And that's the way it should be. And I'm glad they do. Can it be an inconvenience for families on vacation who want to go for a swim or go along the beach? Yeah, it can. They'll usually set aside a small portion of the beach for those people. But anyway, it's a lovely area up here, and I'm happy to be here. Right now, I'm going through some issues that has nothing to do with where I live. I'd have these issues if I was living anywhere. I recently had an operation surgery for melanoma, and I'm happy to report that they got the cancer out from the wound. It started out as a wound and just kept spreading and getting deeper, and really an ugly looking wound. The best I could describe it looked like someone shot me with buckshot. And, it was a very serious wound. And after the surgery, before the doctor would perform the surgery, he said, we're going to have to get you set up with a wound clinic. And so I was fortunate enough to, one of the women in the office of my surgeon, really nice woman, her name was Dora. She wouldn't be listening to this video, I doubt. There would be a one in it. a billion shot if she were. But if she is, thank you, Dory, for your hard work and effort, because she was able to find a wound clinic up near my home that would accept me. These wound clinics are hard to get into. They're small operations, and they're very dedicated to their patients, so they're not likely to, much like the regular allopathic system, which will take on, they'll have you waiting in the waiting room for an hour, and say, "Oh, we got backed up." But if you're 2 seconds late, they want to charge you for the visit. And I don't want to get into that. I'm not a big fan of allopathic medicine, but I am a fan of the wound clinic that I go to at Anna Jake's Hospital in Newburyport, which is about 4 miles from the house. And, they do a fine job. And it's not their fault that I'm going through a horrific amount of pain in this wound area. Unable to sleep at night. It's the worst time. It's always the worst time when any illness that people have, wounds, whether it be what I'm going through or any kind of depression or, a mental illness or physical illness. It's always worse at night. I think it maybe has something to do with the atmospheric pressure, maybe. I don't know. This is just a guess on my part. But, it is what it is. I'm going through some pretty tough times right now with the process. I bandage it every day. I re-bandage it. I go to the wound clinic at least once a week, and sometimes once every 2 weeks if things are going well. They're not going well right now. And the folks at the wound clinic, like I said, they're very dedicated people. And I think if anyone could feel worse about my situation than I do, it's probably them. They're very compassionate. I can see in their eyes that they wish they could fix me. But I think the only thing that can fix me at this point is time. And I was told by the surgeon back February 12th was the date of the surgery. And since then, they told me at the time, February 12th, I asked the doctor when I could get back to my normal activities. He started off by saying, "I wouldn't want to be you." His bedside manner leaves a little bit to desire, but I appreciate his honesty. I really do. I don't like people who bullshit me. And so, he said midsummer. So I quickly factored midsummer. Summer starts on January 21st. So, and lasts for about 90 days. So I figured by August 5th, I should be healed. Now, you would think that in the interim, you're going to start feeling better and getting a little better each day before you are finally healed. You don't expect to be healed overnight with an injury or a wound like I have. I understand that. But this has been a strange, strange journey for me. And I feel I'm 12 weeks on Monday, 2 days ago. Today's Wednesday. What date is it? Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. And the injury occurred, the surgery took place on February 12th of 2024. So it's been 12 weeks going on, 13 weeks. Next Monday will be 13 weeks, but we'll call it 12 weeks for the sake of argument. And I have had improvements through the 12-week period, but then I'll have setbacks. And this recent setback has been not only painful, but it's tested my will. I don't want to get dramatic here, but my will to go on, because in addition to having this, the only way I can describe it is a stinging, burning, sometimes feels like muscular pain, but most of the time it's the stinging. You're lying in bed and just ding, ding, sting, sting. And again, not to get dramatic, but I defy any human being to be able to rest comfortably when you're getting that. Now, when I'm up, moving around like I am today, it's marginally better. It's probably, when I say marginally, it's probably 50% better. And it's still very uncomfortable. So when it's going 100% at night, let me tell you, it's a bear. Old people used to say it's a bear, meaning a bear was a pretty scary animal. And I guess the thing is, it's hard, man. It's testing everything. Not my faith, fortunately. I ask God. Sometimes I may ask in a stronger voice than I normally would when I'm going through a tremendous amount of pain, but I've never blamed God. God has been with me every step of the way. I'm not some religious fanatic. Um, Growing up, I was religious. I went to parochial school, and we were taught to go to Mass during Lent. And there was a period of time in elementary school where I'm guessing I went to Mass pretty much every day, except Saturday. I'd go during school days, and I'd go, of course, on Sunday. But but I'm not a religious fanatic by any stretch of the imagination. But recently, since my granddaughter came into our lives, my beautiful little granddaughter Lucia, the greatest gift that God has ever given me, or as far as I'm concerned, anyone. Um, I I can't thank him enough for bringing her into our life. She was born with pediatric seizures and has, as she gets older, she's getting seizures more frequently. I remember when she was first born, she was about 3 months old when we first, well, maybe a little older than that. Let me see. Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 months old. Yeah, maybe 3 months old when she started. We started noticing. My daughter picked up on it, I think, first that she was, she was. I guess the best way to describe it, she looked like she was in a hypnotic state. Her eyes kind of roll back, and sometimes she smiles, and she's very peaceful looking, but she's not there. So they got over to the Children's Hospital. I don't want to, I don't want to besmirch what many people believe is the finest medical system in the country here in Massachusetts, but I haven't, I haven't witnessed that in my experiences, and in my recent experiences with the Children's Hospital with my granddaughter. I'm not impressed. Okay, they keep adjusting the medication, and the more adjustments they make, the worse the seizures become. They recently increased the dosage. I think the time before that, for a short time, they did. I should say they increased the dosage. I think before that they may have decreased it at one point. So I know they're just testing. They're using her as a test case. They don't know they don't know what they're doing. But I understand. I would do other things differently if she were my child. She'd be seeing herbalists, people who explore the body, not just become spokespeople for the pharmaceutical industry. And that's all that the allopathic medical staff does, is they prescribe you a prescription based on theory of science that it has, that this particular medicine has been researched and found to be useful in the case that you're trying to fix. I get that. I'm not a science denier. I believe in the scientific method, but at the same time, I question whether or not they actually use the scientific method. You see, the scientific method is and again, I'm just loosely translating my understanding of the scientific method, is that you you do studies with a reasonably high amount of people, and you determine through those studies, blind studies, so the scientists who are conducting the studies have no idea what group is the placebo group and what group is the actual group receiving the medication, or most of these medications, they're not testing on humans anyway. They're testing them on lab animals. But as we all saw, there was a period of time back in 2020 that the claim was that the scientific method was what was determined why you should receive a certain type of medical procedure. And you got to be careful what you say on certain platforms because, excuse me, got the hiccups, but because, you can get deplatformed. It doesn't, in my case, it's not a big deal because I don't generate income from my channel. So, at some point, maybe I will, I don't know, but I doubt that. And that's not the reason I do these videos. I like doing them. I hope if I can help one person, in this instance of this video, maybe if I can help one person realize that they're not the only one experiencing pain, not the only one waking up at night and experiencing pain. Maybe they have a child or a grandchild who's going through similar things that Lucia is going through. Any topics I touch on during a video, my hope is that someone who chose to listen to it, maybe there's one person out there who was helped. So if that can happen, even one person, I'd be pretty happy about making these videos because sometimes I wonder if anyone's listening. I see, some videos I put up. It's a funny thing about human judgment on anything. In this case, I'll say, this is a great subject, and I think people are going to like this. You see, most of the videos I do are faceless videos. I'm going to start doing more videos like this. I don't know whether you'll like them better than my faceless ones, or I'll know, though, by how many views I get. So if I don't get many views on the ones with my face on it, I'll figure that you'd rather have the informational ones that I provide. I'd like to do a mix. See, I want to do videos like this every day, just to keep you updated on what I'm doing, and more importantly, you see, I'm a human being, okay? And like all humans, we go through situations. I'm going through the situation with this wound right now. And you may be going through a situation that's totally different from a wound. You might be having issues with family members, or you might be having issues with your belief system or your mental, the way you feel mentally. And maybe something I say could be helpful to you. We all have, what did someone once say about never judge someone because we're all going through something. And I believe that to be true. Try to be nice to people because we're all going through something. And I totally believe that, and have always believed that, at least in recent memory. And, I was kind of brought up that way. My mom was a very caring person, very wonderful mom. And my dad was a good dad. Now, I was fortunate. We didn't have a lot, but we always, my brother Ed, my sister Nancy, we always knew that we were loved. And my parents were wonderful. All of our cousins and uncles and aunts all, I think, truly loved my mom because she was a good person, caring, unselfish, and I think she instilled that attitude on us to, always defend the underdog. She didn't put it in the words that I heard the other day of, be kind because we're all going through something. But my mom would say similar things like, you don't know what their life is like, so don't judge them. She was very non-judgmental and would pray for most people who would be throwing rocks at. So that's the type of person she was, and I'm glad I inherited some of that part of her genetic makeup, because I think it's a good way to live. Do I get mad at people once in a while? Sure. Do I say things I don't mean? Sure, we all do. But again, I'm hoping these videos can provide some of you or one of you with maybe something that you need at this time. If that happens, I'd be thrilled. If you want to leave a comment, I'd be thrilled hearing about your success. I truly believe that in order to get through your own pain, you sometimes need to share it with others and help them get through theirs. If I help you get through your pain, I think I'm helping myself as well. So that's the way I see it. And anyway, like I said, I'm going to be doing more of these face videos as opposed to just strictly informational videos. If you like them, let me know. If you don't, let me know. And, I'll try to provide you with information that you want, if it's going to work for the majority of the people. I can't talk about certain subject matter that I know you're the only one who might be interested in that. It's got to be something that would be helpful to the group as a whole. But if only one of you gets something out of it, I win. And hopefully you win as well. Anyway, that's all I have to say today, and I'll be back tomorrow. I used to do these rambling videos all the time, and I kind of like to ramble. I used to call myself the Rambling Man. And kind of getting back to that. I like doing these types of videos, and I hope you like them too. See you later. I wish you well. I pray for all of you. And again, I'm not a religious fanatic, so don't worry. But I include you in my prayers, my YouTube family. And thanks for listening.